So we're looking at example 1 with complex fractions, which you can see we've got a fraction within a fraction. We've got a fraction being divided by another fraction. And in this case, we actually have two mixed numbers that we're dealing with. So you might remember from our previous lesson on mixed numbers, which was 2-5, operations with mixed numbers, is that the first thing you need to do here before doing anything, you need to first, let me zoom on in, convert your mixed numbers to impropers. So converting those mixed numbers to impropers involve the multiplication and then the adding. So on the top, I have 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31. So I have 31 over 5, my big fraction bar. 3 times 10 is 30. Now, this is a good thing to talk about when we're talking about converting a negative mixed number. If I'm taking a negative mixed number and just rewriting it in a different fraction or a different form, that number is still going to be negative. It's not going to change to be a positive because I'm not changing the actual number. I'm just changing the way I write it. So we ignore that negative. We just carry it down with us. So 10 times 3 gives me 30, plus 1 is also 31. I'm noticing those are matching, and that's really cool because that's awesome. And then my denominator of 10 stays. So now that I've got my mixed numbers converted to impropers, you can go ahead and rewrite the division as normal. Using that little oblique sign that you guys are so used to. And remember, you do top, divide, bottom. So when I rewrite this, I have 31 over 5 divided by negative 31 over 10. Cool beans. So then my third step, now that I've got my fraction division or my division of fractions written like I'm used to seeing it, I can go ahead and use those division rules and do that keep, change, flip, or that multiply by the reciprocal. Yeah, handwriting, reciprocal. So keep that first fraction the same, change to multiplication. The reciprocal, still negative. Remember, I'm not changing the sign. 10 over 31. And you can have the negative up there with the 10. You can have it with the 31, as long as it's just there somewhere, only once. You can't have it in both spots. All right, so now we're back onto multiplying. So we're going to check for any cross-canceling, which those 31s are going to be really, really nice and easy to cancel. They're the same thing, so I can divide them by themselves, right? 31 divided by 31, negative 31 divided by 31, 1 over something times negative 31 divided by 31 is a negative 1. And then I got to check my other two. My 5 and my 10, I can definitely cross-cancel pieces with them too. Both of those are divisible by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, 10 divided by 5 is 2. Finish that multiplication. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. 2 divided by a negative 1 is indeed a negative 2 as a final answer. And that makes sense because if we go back to our original problem, like I forgot to do, we have a positive being divided by a negative, which is going to result in a negative answer. And there you have your first example of complex fractions. The only thing that makes them complex is the fact that instead of being set up left to right with the obliques, they're set up as a fraction.